Good morning, class. Welcome back. This is Mr. No. Chào buổi sáng, cả lớp. Today we are once again exploring the cultures and the language of Vietnam, and today we are going to be looking at something that is popular everywhere, not just Vietnam, around the world, and we're going to be looking at sports. So join me on the next slide as we kind of go through, and we're going to delve into some of the most popular sports in Vietnam. So last time, just as always, I like to review. Once again, if you did not see the last lesson, you can always go back and check it out, hopefully, and see. But the last time I was with you, we took a look at something which is near and dear to probably everybody, and I'm going to use this word, đồ ăn, which means food from Vietnam. We looked at different regions and where many of the food or đồ ăn originated from, right? Món, which is another way of saying styles of food. And we're going to quickly kind of review what we looked at. So the last time we looked at the considered, as I've told you before, last time, probably the most popular imported Vietnamese dish or Vietnamese food item to America or around the world, and that is pho. Pho, which is beef noodles or beef soup with noodles. Okay. Another one we looked at, which is kind of interesting because remember, this kind of has like a dual meaning, and this is actually something called bánh mì. Bánh mì. Bánh mì is actually bánh means bread or cake-like products. Bánh mì is, in this case, bread, right? So it stands for two things. It's the style of sandwich, but also stands for bread or bread-like products, right? We also looked at this one, which consists of pork and shrimp and lettuce, which is called goy. Goy means lettuce and or like coleslaw or slaw. Goy, cung. So lettuce or salad that's been coleslaw that's been wrapped in rice paper. Goy cung, which has shrimp, which is bom, beef, usually pork, which is tateo, and salad, which is lettuce. Okay, and noodles. Boom. Then we looked at another one of my personal favorites with a lot of French influence here. This is called bánh. Remember that word again, bánh xèo. Bánh xèo, which actually directly translates to sizzling pancake. Sizzling pancake, and it's a style of crepe filled with lots of goodies. And the second or the last, this is really our real last food item we talked about last time. And this one is actually Jai. Jai means to lay out. Yaw. Yaw means to kind of, once again, like goi kung. Jai yaw to roll, but jai is to lay out. Yaw is actually, yaw means to actually squeeze. Jai, yaw. So if you think about it, you lay out the wrapper, you put the stuff inside, and you roll and you squeeze it together, and that gets you Vietnamese egg rolls, or also sometimes referred to as fried spring rolls, right? And then the last one was a fun one, which is actually not a food, but it's more of a something you would have with food. So it's pronounced tung, tung, which is a word for sauce. Tung, you can try it again. Tung, which means hot sauce or sauce made of peppers, because spicy peppers. And then the name of the actual company is Sriracha. Very famous brand. Many of you have probably seen it or even tried it. It's really quite good. So today, though, and that was a quick review of đồ ăn Việt Nam. Đồ ăn, món ăn Việt Nam. Or you can say đồ ăn Việt Nam, món ăn Việt Nam, which means food from Vietnam. Vietnam is Vietnam. Okay, so today, I'll put myself right here because we got a lot to cover. Now, growing up as a kid, I loved playing sports. I played lots of different sports. Sports is thể thao, thể thao. Thể thao nước Mỹ có nhiều cái lắm, meaning there's lots of different sports in America. Trong trong Việt Nam, in Vietnam, trong Việt Nam có nhiều cái mà thể thao mình chơi được lắm. Meaning, there's lots of sports in Vietnam that we can play. One of the sports, or I'm going to cover primarily the most popular sports, right? Once again, there's so many. Có nhiều lắm, nhiều thể thao all over Vietnam. So for us to say that we can cover all of them is kind of, I don't want to use the word impossible, but hard. But today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the most, in many people's opinions, the most popular sports, thể thao, trong nước Việt Nam, meaning the most popular sports in Vietnam. We are going to look at the traditional sports as well. Some that we don't actually have here in the United States of America. But once again, you have the ability to learn these and kind of take a look at them. Okay. So the first one that we will look at this is a very worldly sport, right? Meaning, ở dòng hết cái trái đất đá banh, right? Meaning around the world, soccer is very nhiều người thích lắm. Meaning lots of people love it. Lots of nhiều người, lots of people love and adore soccer. So we'll cover soccer. Here's a picture of the men's national soccer team. And then there's a picture of the women's national soccer team. And they just actually competed in the Women's World Cup. So we'll have a clip of that, them scoring in just a bit. Another sport is that's very popular in Vietnam is volleyball. So we'll cover a little bit of that. This one is a huge kind of crowd favorite, but not only on a competitive level, but just for fun and exercise. And that is the sport called badminton. Badminton. And that actually is played here in United States of America as well. It's very popular in Vietnam. So we'll talk about that and we'll show you that. Then the last, second to last sport is actually cycling. Cycling is, once again, competed at an international level with people from Vietnam, from Vietnamese athletes, but it's also kind of a way of life. In Vietnam, there's bicycles are a huge mode of transportation. So virtually everyone has some form of two-wheeled vehicle, but bicycles is extremely popular. One of the best ways to get around the cities, the towns, and the overall the country. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get there. And then the last sport that we're going to look at is something that's basically translates to a form of badminton, but you use your feet. It's like a foot badminton. And you can see right there, the little item that is used is what we call kind of just like badminton, a shuttlecock, but it's made with feathers and these little round discs of leather. And when we get to that, we'll watch a video, one or two quick videos to show all of you how it actually is played. So with no further notice, let's get to the sports. So the first one that we are going to look at is officially outside of the foot badminton is the most popular sport in Vietnam, and that is soccer. Now, soccer is actually can be called two different ways. It's called bóng đá. Bóng, the direct translation of bóng in Vietnamese is to kind of hold or cradle. Đá Da means to kick. So if you think about it, it's in the game of soccer. In bóng đá, right? You're in soccer, you're cradling the ball, controlling it, and passing it to a teammate using your foot. So bóng đá, also many people refer to soccer as đá banh. Đá banh. Đá banh means kick ball. Okay, so đá means kick and banh means ball. So that's like the direct translation. Soccer came to Vietnam in the year 1896. Once again, heavily French European influence, and it was introduced to the southern tip of New Vietnam, the country, and then it spread to the middle regions and the northern part. It is now considered the most widely popular sport in Vietnam, and it's played at the very young level all the way to the older levels. It's used not only as a way of learning sports, teamwork, and most importantly, as exercise as well. We are going to watch a very quick clip, and I've taken the audio off, but this is from the Women's World Cup. And as you can see, she gets up into the field, and here is the pass. She's running. Dai means to run. Da means to kick. And it goes into the back of the net. And in Vietnamese, net means lu. So it goes right into the back of the net for a score. So I just wanted to show you that quick clip and how soccer is a huge influence in sport in Vietnam or in Vietnam. Now the next one is volleyball, and you'll see that same word again, bang. And in this case, it's bang ding. Ding means to pass. So hold and cradle and to pass. So that's exactly what we do in volleyball, right? Volleyball is a game of bang ding, to hold, or the direct translation is to cradle and hold with your hands, right? But not holding the ball. Ban and ding means to pass. Bang ding is once again another extremely popular national sport. Nhiều người ta chơi, meaning lots of people play the game and the sport for exercise, for competitive reasons. And Vietnam, the country of Vietnam, competes in the Olympics as well as the Pan Asian Games. All right, now we're getting on to badminton. Badminton is cao long, right? And basically the direct translation is the shuttlecock is made of, it used to be made of feathers. Cao is actually, the word cao is bridge. So if you think about it, it's kind of the direct translation is bridge of feathers. Cao long, right? So the idea with this game is very much like table tennis or ping pong or tennis. There's a net. There's usually competitors, usually một người mỗi bên, meaning one person on each side, or hai người, hai, remember that, number two, hai người, people, người means people, done mỗi bên, meaning two people on each side. And the idea is to hit it back and forth, and to get the opponents to miss the shuttlecock, right? And this is played amongst children, adults. You can find this very popular in parks, set courts, meaning courts built for badminton, and sometimes people just break out in the middle of the street and play. And as you can see, there's people here in a court, and this gentleman here is playing a competitive game. So we're going to watch a very quick little video, and I'll just kind of narrate it. These two athletes are training, and you can see it, what looks like to be indoors. It's a warehouse indoors. And they are going to hit the shuttlecock back and forth. I want you to notice how fast the game is going, and you'll notice both of them are doing their best to keep the shuttlecock from dropping to the ground. So every time they hit it, in Vietnamese, it would be called dan, dan, and then to move back and forth, to run is chạy, chạy tới. Chạy tới means to run forward. Chạy lại means goes to backwards. Dan means hit. And I think the point is going to come almost to an end right here. Oh, so that is badminton cao long, right? Cao long. Right, and we're going to go to the next one, which is cycling, right? The reason why cycling, or it's called đạp xe. Đạp means to step. Đạp, đạp, xe. Xe, xe means, in this case, the direct translation would be car and or a way of saying vehicle. Okay, so đạp xe. Đạp xe means step, vehicle. Đạp xe, meaning cycling, right? Đạp xe means the activity of cycling. Đạp xe, right? Cycling or đạp xe is not only a sport but a way of life in Vietnam. Đa số người ta có một xe đạp, meaning just about everybody. Women, children, kids, men, adults, everybody. Somebody probably owns a bicycle as a way of life and transportation. They also do it as a sport in Vietnam. Now, the interesting thing is cycling is đạp xe. But if you want to know what the name for a bicycle is, you simply switch these two words, and it's xe đạp, means bicycle. Kind of a fun fact, right? So you take a sai xe đạp, they đạp xe. So it's using a xe đạp, which is bicycle, and to cycle is đạp xe. Okay, and you can see here's a picture of a Vietnamese competitor in a cycling competition. But on the right-hand side, you'll notice thousands upon thousands, even more people in Vietnam, on the streets of Vietnam, use bicycles. And then the last one is one of my personal favorites. Growing up as a young child, I was exposed to this. The best way to describe it is foot badminton. Đá cầu, đá cầu, đá cầu. Đá means kick, cầu means bridge, to bridge the distance or something that you're kicking, right? This is a sport of kicking a shuttlecock that's made very similar to one used in badminton, with your feet and to keep it in the air. Trong nước Mỹ, in America, many people play a game. It's like dribbling a soccer ball, or with a small round woven ball that's called a hacky sack. This is essentially the true national pastime of Vietnam, or Vietnam, right? It was funny because this was actually created as a way for soldiers, người ta lính, meaning soldiers, that would often be standing still for long periods of time, to exercise their legs by kicking the shuttlecock around to get their legs moving. That's why it's called đá kick cầu, right? This is what it actually looks like. The picture on the left are competitive people playing đá cầu. You'll notice that these gentlemen here have the name Vietnam on their back because they're national players. And here, there's just people breaking out in the game in the park, right? But we're going to show you some quick videos of this actually. So this is the same video, and I kind of want to show you this. And you'll notice he's kicking it. She kicks it right back over. And you'll notice that they're kicking it simply with their feet and they never touch it with. And this is just a fun game out in the park. Okay, now this one that I'm about to show you is an actual team. But you'll notice that this gentleman here, before I play the video, he looks like he's doing almost like a dance, like ballet. His hands are kind of together. What the athletes will do to practice their targeting is they'll make their hands into circles, and as the shuttlecock comes through, they'll kick it, da yogana, meaning kick it through the circle or the motion that they put with their hands back to their teammates. So this is just a team in an indoor kind of warehouse, once again, kind of practicing. So you'll watch. Let me see, maybe make this video larger. There we go. And you'll see them kick. And did you see where she put her hand and it went through her arm and she kicked it back. Watch again. And he kicks it. You see that? Through the circle, he kicks it back through the circle, back through the circle. So their precision is quite amazing. All right. So we're going to jump forward. So these are the sports that we kind of covered today. And sports is thể thao, chơi thể thao, meaning chơi meaning play, thể thao meaning sports. So we have bóng đá or đá banh, which is soccer, right? We have bóng chuyền, which is volleyball. Cầu lông, which is badminton. We have xe đạp or đạp xe. Xe đạp is a bicycle. Đạp xe is the acting of cycling. And then we have đá cầu, which is foot badminton. And those are some of the most popular sports in Vietnam or in Vietnam. Okay, so I hope you have a chance to try some of these chơi thể thao, play these sports and get some exercise. And then finally, on the next time that we see each other, okay, we are going to be looking at some of Vietnam's biggest celebrations, lễ, meaning parties, celebrations, and some of their origins. Okay, so until next time, keep practicing, and I hope to see all of you soon. Okay, take care. Have a great rest of your day.